Guys, Many Rags here. I want to apologize to you all for not being on in a couple of days. I've had a lot going on in my home. Um, Not to overshare, but um, one of my uh, kids is getting divorced and was thrown out, and he became homeless, and luckily that worked out. That he found someplace else. And then another one of my children is going through a legal thing. And like I said, I can't get into the facts of that because it's still ongoing. Near the end of the month, I had a harder time because bills to pay, stuff like that. Um, to give you a little clue, me and my wife and granddaughter live on $720 a month, which isn't a lot. I mean, when you consider everything else. The good thing is our house is paid for. So, between the electric and then other bills, I mean, we don't have a lot. And I had to ask my kids for help this last week. Something I don't like to do because I'm supposed to take care of them, and but they ended up having to take care of me. And there was just a whole lot going on, way more than I'm telling. And well, I buy like 330 pounds of dog food every month, and I buy it at once. And it got down to the last, I guess, 80 pounds, and we somehow got bugs in it. That problem we've taken care of and has been resolved. There's nothing, almost nothing that I'm sharing with you that I haven't taken care of. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just letting you guys know that I was having a hard time and struggling, and that's why I've not been able to do a video. So I want to share with people that the difference between the schizo and schizoaffected. I am schizoaffected. Schizophrenic is when you hear voices or see things that aren't there. Not surprising that a lot of schizophrenics start out schizophrenic and end up being schizoaffected. Schizoaffected is the schizophrenia with a mood disorder, chronic depression, anxiety, those type of things. And like I said, it's not surprising. I tried to help other schizophrenics to believe in themselves that we're just different. I mean, if you look at a CT scan or MRI of the schizophrenic brain, it is different than what we classify as a normal brain. So we see, hear, and perceive things differently than other people, which is it can be bizarre. I mean, I encourage anybody with schizophrenia, bipolar, anxiety, depression, whatever it is, to stay on your medication. You may not think that it's helping, but it really is. For instance, it would be like an amputee. Let's say you're missing a leg. Now you've got to be fit for a leg, and we have to be fit for our medicine. So, and sometimes it's a trial and error thing. Sometimes the leg doesn't fit right, or it does, or rubs wrong, or it causes other problems. So same with the medication. We have to stay on it, and we have to have our doctors adjust it as such. But I'm telling you, a lot of us think it's not doing any good, or they're tracking me through it, they're trying to poison me. These things I have felt before, and I've stopped my medicine. And what I'm trying to get to is that if you stop your medicine, it's like an amputee missing a leg trying to walk without his leg. You're gonna fall. You're gonna end up back in a hospital. It's just a matter of time. You may go a day, you may go a week, you may go a month, you may go a couple of years. But you're going to end up back there. And it's always better just to stay on it and be positive. I'm a proud schizophrenic. I am very thankful that I am the way that I am. I am very thankful that I see things differently. And how sometimes it upsets me how TV or movies portray schizophrenic people. I mean, yes, there are occasionally we have done, not as a group, but a person with schizophrenia has gone on a killing spree. But that's no different than somebody having bipolar and doing it, or somebody doing something, going out and killing, even a sane person going out and doing that. We're no different. So don't be afraid of people that have schizophrenia or schizoaffected. Most of us are completely harmless and are more afraid of you than you would ever be afraid of us. A lot of times we cower in corners, we never leave our houses. We're just scared. If at any time you start, this goes for anybody, you start getting depression, or you start hearing voices, or start getting anxious, see a doctor immediately, as soon as you can. Get help, get started on the right track. Now, like I said before, medicine that they're going to give you the first time may not work, but you got to stick with it, and you got to take it longer. Most of these medicines take 3 or 4 weeks to get into your system. And it can be difficult. It can be frustrating. Trust me, no one gets more frustrated than me, because after I'm taking all kinds of meds and stuff, and just one moment. Sorry, I let it jerk past. But trust me, no one's. We're just like everybody else. We just hear or see things that aren't there. Not possessed, nothing like that. We're just different. Uh, and all I have to say about that is keep upbeat, keep your head high, and stuff. And I want to get into another subject, and that's people with ESAs, emotional support dogs, or pets going into grocery stores and stuff. I have a service dog. He backs me away from a tense situation when he knows I am getting anxious or my voices are getting so bad that if I start getting into a situation I can't handle, he gets my attention and pulls me away from that. And that helps me. It helps me and it helps you. But then you have untrained pets or ESAs in the same proximity that you have service dog. And it can be bad. I have a relatively young service dog. He didn't have much more training to go, but it's got a little bit more now than he should. ESA or a pet, whatever, growl, raises a hair up and jumped towards him out of instinct, being as young as he was, went to jump back. Now, he's no longer doing his job, which is to protect me. Now he thought he was protecting me, but it wasn't what his job is. So now I have to spend another 100 hours or so working with him on getting him back on track. At 100 hours or so is, you got to figure, if you take it, the service dog, to have it trained, going to cost you between $40 and $50 an hour on up to 100 or so, and it can be expensive. So I just plead with anybody, if you have an ESA or a pet or whatever, and you decide you're going to sneak them into places where service dogs are, make sure your dog is well mannered, well trained, and doesn't and isn't aggressive. We just can't have that. It can ruin a good service dog. I'm hoping that mine is young enough that he can overcome that. I'm hoping. But I want to thank you guys. I will get caught up. Tomorrow I'm going to do 2 episodes in one, and it's movies and something else. But I'll tell you what movies I've watched in the last week and a half. So I want to thank you all for paying attention and listening. And tomorrow is going to be upbeat and not mellow like today. I just wanted to get that out there and tell everybody those things. Thank you. Buddy Rags. Peace, guys.